Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of the Shrek Through. I'm standing here in this stoic pose in good old Majula as always, and I just realized this lady that's now moved back to live with us here in our town of origin, she seems to be looking at a foot. I don't think I ever noticed that until just now. I'm trying to not be exploitive with the way that I frame this shot with the binoculars, so she's got a little bit of a cleavage action going on. But yeah, she totally seems to just be trying to enchant this magical foot bone. I wonder what the lore and story behind this happens to be. I think that's a foot anyway. It's kind of a strange looking foot. It seems to be bent up in the wrong direction or something like whatever. It's neither here nor there. Anyway, we're back at home because we need to make some improvements to our character before we take off in the next direction. You may notice I have slightly more souls than I happen to have had before. I did a little bit of messing around in the fire tower area, just looking for stuff that I missed. I didn't actually get anything, but I just wanted to look and also kill a couple of knights to get a little bit extra souls. And I did a little bit of a jaunt around this area as well to see where people ended up settling in, and I had forgotten about the magic man that I wanted to get to live with us over here. So this is where he took up residence, I guess, looking out over this relatively picturesque shoreline. So let's talk to him for a second. I think there's a few things we might want to buy from him. And he also does reinforcement of your pyromancy flame, which is kind of an important thing because the other NPC that does that for you doesn't seem to appear for a little while yet. We've got to get another item to free her from her prison, as it were. So he's got a couple of rings. I can increase my magic defense or shorten my spellcasting time. I'm kind of into it for this one, so I'm going to buy the 2000 bluestone ring. Because, you know, faster spells means faster damage, means everyone's happy. And the other thing I wanted to buy was a great heavy soul arrow scroll, or whatever we call these things. Because it's 10 spells, 10 shots worth of something I hear is a pretty fantastic spell. So we're going to grab that for 4,500, and then we're going to attune that shortly thereafter. I don't think there's anything else I really need from him right now. As much as I'd like to increase my magic defense, I'm just not going to bother right now. Also, I noticed there was a loincloth that I could probably deck out Shrek in. It kind of looks better than the one that he's got right now, which is just sort of like a Survivor-style buff, or like some gauze that you'd get from a hospital that have rotted out over the last 100 years. So we're going to put on this to get almost no bonus from defense. I think it's more just about the aesthetics. I think he looks more ogre-like wearing that personally, so hopefully everyone's cool with that idea. If not, I can always switch back. I did kind of enjoy the idea of just not really having any armor for most of the game, though. Anyway, what was the other thing I wanted to do? I guess I could just buy a bunch of levels, because that's kind of important. Or, the other option I have is I could spend that money on buying a ring over here. That's going to allow us to do a greater fall distance. Then again, where I'm going right now, means that I'm going to be able to eventually get an NPC that's going to make it easier to get down there. So I guess I'm not really worried about the ring right now. I'll get it later. Right now I think I could use a boost toward getting that 100% block shield that I think is going to be a pretty big and influential part of our strategy towards not dying all the freaking time. So that's 3 levels. That's going to get our attack strength up quite a ways. Once I get it to strength of 16, I think it's about as high as I need to ever get it. So this is just sort of a temporary stopgap measure. There's 3 more levels to be done, and I'm not going to get them right now. So let's take a little bit of a jaunt. Then we're going to head back to where we left off in the last episode, which is the Farfire Poison Pool in Poison Fields area, whatever, the Harvest Fields. It's a weird place. It's very green there. It's very drab. It's very kind of sun-bleached and tired looking and kind of just dead. Harvest Valley, what was I just calling it? I gotta remember, it's like the chips, right? It's the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips. Kind of a similar feeling to them. And yeah, the lady doesn't live here anymore. She's moved on. So these guys downstairs, they look like they're gonna be tough until you realize actually they're kind of big softies. They don't do a whole lot at a distance. They want to fire bullets of some sort of magical capacity, but the thing is they're not that good at realizing when they should probably stop firing those bullets. Also, I'm still poisoned after all this time. Oh, there it goes. So no skeletons wake up, huh? To be perfectly honest, I don't even need to really engage this guy if I don't really want to deal with any of these pickups. Oh, the skeleton wakes up when you get this. That's what it is. Oh, look, a life gem. Fantastic. So, oh, I forgot to attune my soul arrows on that last little bit. Oh, and I also put my pyromancy hand on. I forgot to tell you that. I didn't really get any pyromancy spells. I have like one regular fireball, but I don't even know why I have this on right now. I was just sort of playing with the idea. Oh, and I also need to equip the ring that I just bought. My goodness, I am so forgetful. I guess we'll just jump down here and grab one of these. I'm not really going to worry about getting all of them right now. It's not that necessary. Titanite shard, I think that said, and a fading soul, which is worth 50. Really not that big of a deal. And I think this guy is going to wake up when I... Oh, come on with the freaking rocks. Oh, no, he didn't even wake up at all. His loss. I could probably even shoot him with spells from here, too. No, whatever. I don't even want to bother. So I gotta remember next bonfire, let's go ahead and attune that better soul arrow. I'm not even gonna worry about it because the next bonfire is literally right after these two guys that you see in front of us. It would have normally been a kind of a stressful thing, but no, not so much here. Hexing urns, those are things that I should be able to fire off at my enemies. Sort of like like a magical grenade, I suppose. Could be kind of handy at times, and we're just gonna run over here. Not really worry about these guys too much. I still have my sword up, which is good. So we're basically just gonna use that on this one. No biggie. These guys are not that tough. These are just kind of regular old hollows, run-of-the-mill, spitting hella Mike skills. And yeah, you'll see that's their move. They shoot these big old dark bolts at you, which look very intimidating and very scary. But as long as you stay out of their way, it's really not all that bad. And we'll just, hop on down gingerly and access our next bonfire already. So we'll use this, light it, attune it, and we'll already be almost done with this zone. I know this seems ridiculous. We've only just begun, and we've already finished it. Well, almost. So what should we drop off? Well, heavy soul arrows. I guess we'll replace those with great heavy soul arrows, and we'll see if they perform slightly better or not. And aside from that little cave, there weren't even that many things I missed over there, and the pickups, of course. Basically that little cubby hole, that nook that had the poison stuff in it, that's where an NPC hangs out that we could sell stuff to, but he's not going to stay there for very long, so I probably won't even bother. So if I remember correctly... Oh, right, this guy is going to be an issue for me. Let's put up and try out our great heavy soul arrows real quickly on this one. If we could target him, perhaps. That's not all that damaging, unfortunately. Oh, didn't really mean to do that. He's gonna find his way through here, I'm sure. Or maybe I'm not so sure. No, he does. And he's got quite a bit of health. He seems to be rather magic resistant, so that's not great for me. But at the same time, he also doesn't really seem very fast, so I think this is kind of not a huge problem anyway. We'll just keep running backward and kiting him in the other direction, and we should be able to keep locking on and doing little bits more damage each time. And there's one more of these guys, or maybe two more, as we're going ahead into the next zone. This spot right here, there's a couple of ways we could approach it if we wanted to. I'm going to choose not to in this case. But basically, you run in there, and then like 3 or 4 big scary guys come down chasing after you. You got to break through all these wooden panels. And up there's one of those rider guys that shoot the dark bolts. And then there's like a pathway that you can go behind him. You got to trigger him to like crash through the wall, though, and it's kind of annoying, so I'm just going to not bother with any of that stuff. Also, you can fall in these holes, takes you down to Poisontown, where you can run around in circles and not see what you're doing for a while, and also, well, you'll be getting poisoned the whole time. Eventually, you'll find your way out here, most likely. And lastly, across this backward expanse over on the left here, this is where you can go to join the Sunbro Covenant, which I'm actually going to go ahead and do because, well, I just would love to get Shrek hooked up with the Praise the Sun movement. Oh, but then we've got to deal with one of these stupid guys. I am not a fan of these guys at all. Oh, look, he just woke up all of a sudden. That's a bunch of damage that I'm doing to him, but I don't feel like it's going to be enough. Alright, let's run backward for a while, and we'll turn around and see if we can capitalize again on the distance. And one more, maybe? Oh, that worked. Okay, I wasn't sure if he died or not. That would have been an awkward position to find myself in if I got myself down into that cavernous area and then all of a sudden basically had him right up on my butt. The other thing, what was I thinking about? I wanted to get my intelligence up quite a ways as well, because I know that one of the spells said that it actually scales with intelligence. So this is area over there where you join the Sunbros Covenant, but I'm just like, what's up with this corner? There's just nothing going on, or it's just a big empty nothing. So I like this spot. It's kind of warm and happy. So we'll enter the Covenant. Heirs of the Sun, we're calling it, not the Sunbros. But that's alright. So we have joined, we've gotten a sun seal, we've entered the Covenant. It's not really going to provide us with much of anything other than a little icon in the top left corner for now, because we're still not doing anything online. But it's nice to know that we can get to it, and there it is, so in case you were wondering. So we'll find our way back out and back to the normal progression path. Again, ignoring these two big oafs in the center. And then now we've got two choices of where we want to head. We can either go through that pot section up in the top area, and then or we can go down here to another pot section with another hammerman. I'm going to choose to go this way just because I know that there's an item that I want down here. And I also don't want to get hit with this guy. He's going to swing around a little bit. Let's just let him get all of his aggression out on the walls and such. Uh-oh, that could be a problem. Soul Arrow, be true? Yes, indeed. Pick up item. He drops an old mundane stone that's for an ascension setup, I believe. My Shrek found himself unable to move for just a moment there. Alright, and we've got another one here. He is completely poisoned, but you'll notice his health bar just does not seem to be affected by that. So he's got a very good poison resistance, which is fantastic for him, not so fantastic for me. I almost just fell off. Being a little bit careless there. What I would like to do is smack him a little bit with melee, but I just don't really want to risk that right now. That guy's much easier to just lead and just keep firing soul arrows at. I think this is the last one we've got for the moment that we've got to fight. There we go. And there is going to be a very important item, like I mentioned. Once we get through this next room, there's the other guy up here that we would have had to fight. This is basically the alternate path if we would have gone up the top way. And there's actually a ladder, so either way I guess leads you back to the same place, but still, I wanted to clear out those guys because now we've got to run through here and hopefully don't get too terribly killed. I'm just going to run up down to this end of this path here, and there might be an enemy that comes out behind me. I just want to make sure I get that shard. Very important item indeed. What's going on in this room? I kind of forgot what's up in here. Oh, we've got angry poison everything mushrooms. I don't want to live in this place too long. Let's just leave, and we'll go in Estes, hopefully fast enough to get ourselves not killed. Yeah, I'm going to have to Estes a second time, unfortunately. And it's looking like there's not going to be a way to perhaps find ourselves to a bonfire before the next boss. I think that was the last one, actually. And this guy's a little dumb. He's just not going to notice me if I go this way. So there's actually like 3 more hammermen up at the top of this, and a bunch of those poison mushrooms, which I'm not too worried about. If I get poisoned, I guess, well, it's just how it goes. Oh, I lived. Somehow I didn't get poisoned there. Well, I guess I'll just wait. This is the fun part of the Dark Souls 2 experience, when you find yourself stuck waiting for a bar to dissipate before you put yourself in harm's way again. I could switch back over to my binoculars and maybe snipe at this mushroom. Oh yeah, it totally works. I wasn't sure if the range would be too much for me. Here we go. So that's one of them down. And if I maybe orient myself... No, alright, it's not going to work. I thought maybe I could shoot at the other mushroom from there. Not the case. I want to actually fall in there because there's an item in the back of the area, but nope. Not for a moment, anyway. So how am I going to fight this hammer guy? I'm going to have to go on hammer watch for a moment here while we try and take him out. He's probably going to run up to me and never get staggered. No, he got staggered a little bit. That's going to be bad if he swings. Nope, we're fine. And probably don't want to put my Oh, this is kind of awkward. Oh god, I've fallen in the pit. I didn't actually realize that that killed me over there. So I thought I was safe, but that was actually instant death. So this again harkens back to our usual motto of like, usually we want to just run by everything. This might be very much the same situation. I'm trying to think about the path that I take. There's very few dudes that I need to really watch out for. I can kind of run by everybody. May just very well do such a thing. I kind of want my souls back, but, you know, whatever. If I get him, I get him. If I don't, I don't. We're running toward a boss, as always, so there will be that boss at the end of the path. I'm just worried about any choke points. I want to make sure that if I have a choke point, I want to be able to get by whatever is in the way. This guy doesn't even aggro, does he? Alright, that's better for me then. I'm going to have 2 of these fellows chasing after me when I walk in here. I should be able to just run right up the ladder, though. I don't even think they'll have a chance to get up to me in time. Almost seems like the area was designed for this. And look, we're already back to where we were. Took basically no difficulties. And since we're running, we should probably have our sword equipped. And look at that, a fog wall. Let's go right in. Got our souls back and everything. Now, it took a very long time to walk in. Look, we're fighting Jabba the Hutt. It'll happen from time to time. So we're just gonna soul arrow him, as always. Hopefully he does not have particularly high magic resist. It does not seem like that is the case. I'm not really sure I remember tactics for this guy, because I beat him on my first try with a melee character. So this is going to be a little bit different now. I mean, I'm obviously going to run away as much as possible because, oh god, he's throwing up some kind of caustic vomit, I suppose. I'm just going to run away, try and find a corner where maybe he triggers some other attack that does not really bother me. He may also have some kind of a hyper mode. I mean, I know a lot of bosses do have such a thing. So when he gets around 50% or so, I'm going to watch out for that. Alright, watch. This attack is probably going to hit me if I don't move. There he goes. Alright, that's his move, huh? He's just going to kind of flop in place. That's not all that menacing, is it? Alright, you want to do that again? I wouldn't mind it if you did. Not terribly... Oh god, no, that kind of hurt. Let's go over here in the corner so he can maybe S up and get out of the way. I think he's going to go for some kind of attack, I would assume. I don't know what he's doing. He's just kind of flopping in all different directions. Oh god. Yep, we're good. That's really all I have to worry about. He's just going to crawl around for a while and eventually flop. And swipe. Nope, not worried about swipe. Looks like he smashed some pots there on the wall. That may end up opening up something for me, perhaps? I don't think so, but it could be. Yep, that's a weird move you've got. Oh, I'm out of... There we go. I wonder how many times I tried to fire a soul arrow at him and nothing happened. Did he die? Oh, he died. He turned into some kind of weird red jelly stuff. What's going on over here? There's like a weird chained up pot on some spikes. Alright, that's the Covetous Demon soul. And one other weird thing that I've noticed, it looks like these stairs go up and around and lead somewhere, because you can actually see through the edge of this that it's like there's another path, maybe. I'm pretty sure there isn't actually a path. Oh god, where did this hammerman come? I forgot the wall went down, so he probably just walked right in. Well, I was just going to show you how weird this staircase is, because there's like this path that you're not supposed to walk on. Let's just take this guy out before we get into trouble or something. Great heavy soul arrows indeed. They're not really all that damaging. I'm going to need some more intelligence, aren't I? Oh, and look, another one on the scene. Predictable as ever. Well, I could use the extra souls, I guess. And this will be for the next episode. We'll have some souls to work with towards getting our 100% block shield. I think we actually should have enough right now. Yeah, it's much easier to fight these guys when you have all this space to walk around in circles. They can't really do much of anything to me then. Unless I just stamina out and just stop in front of them and don't do anything. Is there seriously another one coming? How did they pace themselves that they wanted to walk in one by one? Anyway, I think he's stopped. So yeah, you might notice this looks like a thing that maybe you could like jump up. You can actually get up here, and then you find yourself in this weird predicament where this seems to happen. Your character like wants to walk up to this path, but there's very clearly an invisible wall in the way. And you'd think like, well, this is like a foot high, you could probably just step up this. In fact, our character even makes the motion to step up onto this platform occasionally. Like, literally just puts his foot right on top of it. But, no, there's invisible wall, I can't do it. Doesn't matter how careful your jumping is, as far as I can tell, there's no way to get up there. I just wanted to walk up and see what was there, like, why didn't you just make this a dead end? You've already got the place modeled out, like, just let us walk around the circle, and then there'll be nothing there, and then we'll come back down. I don't understand what the advantage is to leaving that way. It's rather ambiguous and confusing and also frustrating. There was no need for an invisible wall there, in my opinion. And look who it is, it's Lucatiel, the NPC that's helped us out a few times now. And she just threw me a ring of steel protection. That's a really nice defensive item for me. And I think she just wants to tell us a story about her brother, which is all good, but I'd much rather light this bonfire, so let's do that. I'm starting to think, actually, before we run back into the fray, the Gallifrey, no, let's just go back to Majula, Oblongata, because it's just, it's a little too scary to lose 16,000 souls when we've got a chance for some easy upgrades, as frustrating as it is to keep leaving the, forward progression path. At least we knocked out another minor boss on our way. This is like the third minor boss in a row, isn't it? Or is it the second? I can't even remember. So let's spend some souls. Let's get our leveling going on. And also, let's reinforce our Estus Flask, or add another shard to it. I guess it's not called reinforcing when you're just adding another shard. So we'll have +6 or now, 6 total Estus that we can access. There we go, it's been strengthened. And again, there's a, I think I may have mentioned this in a previous episode, but I think it's a total of 12 total Estus that you can have. So there we go, that's exactly enough to get us to 16 strength. And everything after that is going to go probably into either adaptability or intelligence. Maybe at some point I'll put some into endurance. Well, pretty much everything, except for strength at that point. So we'll be all done with that. And I may as well spend one consumable soul item so I can get one more level and be done with it. Got plenty of extras, you know, why not use one? That should be all it requires, is just that. Wait. No, I think we're closer to 5, right? Maybe this will do it. This put us over 4,500. Should really watch that every time I go in and out of this character's boxes here. Let's open up and see. Oh my god! What are the odds of that happening? This is exactly the same amount that I needed to level, so we'll have 0 souls after this. So we're at 24 attunement. That's so wild. It's like never thought I would need that many slots. So now the question is, do I put some into endurance so I can run a bit more? Do I put them into intelligence so I could do a bit more magic damage? It's not even increasing at this point, it's just magic defense that's going up, it seems. And what else can I do? Equip load is like really not necessary for this character at all. Not really like wearing much of anything. It's gonna be endurance or vinegar spell. I keep looking at that and thinking it says vinegar. That's like a bunch more health, but I don't know. Could use some endurance. That also raises my poise substantially. I'd rather not get stun locked if at all possible. This is just kind of low. I'm gonna put it into that. A little bit extra never hurt. Alright, so now we can head back to where we were. Don't think I need to attune anything. You know, the one reason I might have wanted to upgrade intelligence was just so I could get that one spell to scale. The Great Heavy Soul Arrow, whichever one. I guess that's not going to happen for now. So we'll go back to Lower Earthen Peak. We'll see if we can make one more bonfire. Or we're actually at like 22 minutes. It's pretty close. I could probably just run right through. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And then we're going to come up on a particularly difficult boss that made me very, very angry my first run through. So this room is going to have nothing in it, if I remember correctly. Just a bunch of like really ugly pools of sludge at the bottom with some weird like Shadow Man-esque fluorescent green colorated, actually maybe Turok is kind of more it's like this neon crazy color that looks like it's straight out of the 90s. If that makes any sense, it may not. And then we'll head into the ugliest part of the game, in my opinion. This is like, I hate this zone. It's awful. It's not that hard to beat. It's just, except for the last boss, I mean, it's just really awful to look at. And we're gonna get surrounded by ninjas. Yes, we are. And they're gonna fall from the rooftops. Not sure how to best deal with this situation. Maybe we'll lead them all in this direction. We'll see if we can get them all headed over here. And then we'll just go on up the ladder. There we go. Run, go Shrek, go! And they'll probably make their way on up eventually, but it doesn't matter because our bonfire is actually right on the other side of this fog wall. I may have to fight them, though, to be able to use the bonfire. I'm pretty sure that is, in fact, what's going to happen. Let's see if we can just get this one. No, that's not going to work, is it? Oh, they're going to shoot me with daggers. Light the bonfire, Shrek! Oh my god. Alright, that didn't quite work, actually. Well, how could I do this best? I maybe go up the next platform and then send them back. At least I didn't lose any souls, so I'm not all that worried about it. But I could just basically run through, trail them all behind me, run up a little beyond it, light the bonfire, try and rest at it. That'll reset all the positions, and then I can actually just make my path to the next bonfire, which is basically going to be after the boss, believe it or not. This is like a strange group of positioning for these enemies. Like, none of them are really that necessary to fight. It almost seems like it would be a bad idea to bother with them. Alright, so we'll do the same old deal again. We'll lure them over in this direction. Hopefully jukes are our friend. Oh, that was weird. Alright, that actually worked out just fine. And we're actually going to need to go ahead and light the... I almost said bonfire. The windmill needs to be lit on fire, and that happens right about up here. Oh, there's our souls, but I don't really care. Just like 300 of them in it. Oh, there's just a random soul item here. Black fire bombs, neat. Alright, so we'll lead you guys out here. Oh, there's another one, right? Yeah, you attack. That's fine. And then we'll just come on down and rest. Light, and then rest. Cannot use. Okay, well, we lit it at least. How am I going to do this? I've got to lead my way back up. Or try and get them to fall. Yeah, I know, retrieval. I don't really care, though. Come on. Nope, no. Oh, again. Alright, well, round 3. Well, now it's been lit. If it's lit, can I just teleport to it? I forget if you have to rest at it or just lighting it counts. May not even matter then, and we'll just have to watch a silly loading screen as we go from point A to point B, which is like right next to where we were. Let's just check, and then I think we'll wrap things up. Oh yeah, totally have it. So we'll just go to Central Earthen Peak and say, screw it to fighting anything. All of our souls will come from boss fights, I suppose. So, this is going to lead us up to the last run to the boss room. There's actually, like I said, a bonfire after the boss room. We need to light this windmill up. Actually, why don't we just light the windmill right now? And that's going to be good enough. This guy should not pose much of a threat as long as it's just the one. I think there's actually another enemy around, right? Is there not? Oh, yeah, there's 2 more enemies right here. But we do need to clear them out, otherwise this is not going to work. Oh, I don't know what was up with that soul arrow. It did something kind of funky. Oh, I forgot to change my shield, by the way. I know this is probably crazy frustrating. You've probably been yelling at your screen. I went and got the stat and then didn't equip the shield that I needed for the stat. That is the correct shield, yes. Dragon Lake shield, yes, that's the correct shield. Okay. So we'll get our souls, and then we'll go light the torch. And we'll eliminate... The reason we need to light this, by the way, is because the boss that we're going to be fighting, which is up there, is going to be in a pit of poison. And it's really, really annoying. If you don't light this, then you're going to have to be waist-deep in poison for the whole fight, both encumbering your character and also just poisoning you. I mean, as if that wasn't enough. There we go. Did a weird thing and lit everything on fire, and then it stopped spinning. So we're good to go. We actually don't need the torch anymore. And that's going to do it for another day's worth of the Shrek through. Next episode, we have some possibly very frustrating stuff to look forward to. And then we're going to hopefully just overcome all adversity and make our way up to the next zone, provided things work well. Oh, this stops spinning. I didn't even realize that. All the gears stop spinning when that happens. Man, they really do make a visual point of you doing that. I guess it makes sense, because it's probably like the gears are turning whatever pumps the poison out into the pit that sits in front of the boss. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it again. Thank you for your continued support in watching the Shrek through. I hope you're still enjoying yourself. And if you are, please do continue to let me know and leave your likes if you'd like as well, because I really do appreciate those. Let me know what you think about Shrek's new fashionable loincloth, if you think that it is inappropriate. It looks like he's just got no underwear on now. Wow, that's a little rude. Maybe I shouldn't have shown you that. Sorry about that. We should see what it looks like when he's all healthy and everything, if he's got a butt or anything. Because right now it looks like it's all rotted out. Anyway, as gross as this is possibly could get. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you again, and have a lovely night. Talk to you later.